Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm in one of my favorite filming locations because guess what? We got one bad mamma jamma of a four-door performance car. This is it. This is the new 2022 BMW M5, but this isn't a regular M5. We have the M5 CS. But before we get into this twin turbocharged V8 powered performance sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. BMW, whenever you see that M badge, a true M car, whether it be an M8, a M1, which there is an M1, or a 1M, there's one of those as well, or of course the mighty M3, you know that you're getting that motorsport legacy, but you're also getting all the engineering goodness that they've developed from race wins, championship wins, and of course even the coveted 24-hour Le Mans. Now with the M5, they're taking it to another level with the CS. CS, what does that stand for? Competition sport. And if you remember, back in 2019, before the pandemic, we were at the LA Auto Show when we brought you the BMW M2 CS. Now, we were at Chicago this year. We did get to kind of showcase what this thing was all about, but now they gave us the keys and with BMW's blessing said, listen, Joe, we want you to go on throttle and see the full performance of this M5 CS. Now, of course, in this day and age, you can't judge a car based off its looks. There once was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away where once upon a time you could say, that car's got four doors. It's slow. It's a family hauler. Forget about it. Now when you see two doors or four doors, you better be on your tippy toes and minding your P's and Q's because this sedan, like a lot of others out there from Audi, Mercedes-AMG, and yes, Cadillac, can really bring sports car, even close to supercar performance in that four-door shape. So what I want to do is, since this is new, there's also a new player for 2022 from mighty Cadillac, that CT5-V Blackwing. I want to compare the two. Since we've driven a lot of miles, especially track miles with the Blackwing, I want to see, is the M5 CS the better performance sedan over the CT5-V Blackwing? It's interesting because they use a little bit different technology, a little bit different engineering to kind of get to the same point. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this frozen Brands Hatch Gray. Brands Hatch is a very famous racetrack in England. Very popular color on this car. Let's dive in and see, is the BMW M5 CS better over that Blackwing? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the style. The color fits the lines perfectly, and I'm so glad that they kind of went a little bit up and beyond of bringing some exterior aerodynamic pieces, but also some extra style. Now, at the front of the business, you're gonna see that traditional LED headlight design setup. These are those LED headlights from BMW with your halo daytime running lamps, obviously the projector beam setup. What I like about the CS, of course, you're gonna get functionality. So as we work our way down that nice metallic Brands Hatch color, you'll notice we have these massive corner air intakes. Help bring the air into those heat exchangers. This piece looks really not only cool, but looks like it's there for aerodynamic purposes. This is actually for pedestrian safety. It's a DOT required piece, sort of like what you see on the C8 and a ton of other cars to stop pedestrians from falling into that massive, that's how large the opening is. Now you'll notice on the CS, C almost should stand for carbon fiber because we got a ton of it. And it all starts with this splitter on the bottom portion. I like the way they created a bit of an air dam to stop the air from going underneath this very large sedan. And of course, we got the splitter portion to help bring the air around the front of the vehicle. Now, as we come across the front, you're gonna get that massive kidney grill shape design. On the CS, you'll notice the nice light gold accents. And I like the way that they did this because it goes well with what's on the side, and you'll see. But that light gold trim, we got the M5 Motorsport. This is a real M car, and it's a CS, full functionality with these vertical slots in the grille. And then as you work your way down, of course, more functionality with the lower portion of the grille. And you can see just how far that lower section sticks out, plus we have the addition of the carbon fiber splitter. Now, I hope you like carbon fiber because there's more. As we hop up onto this power bulge hood, you get your bulge, everybody. And that's what you want when it comes to performance. This is a full carbon fiber hood. Not just the heat extractors, but the whole hood itself, painted with the Brands Hatch gray. Love that nice flow towards the windshield. We have the boomerang shape, and then we have the carbon fiber heat extractors, which of course are functional, that are gonna drag that hot air from underneath the hood. Coming around the bend, it doesn't stop. We got more. Look at these bad boys. Nice light gold. It's not too obnoxious. And it reminds me, it's a little lighter than the gold that's on my Type RA, my WRX STI Type RA, those gold forged BBS wheels. But speaking of forged, we have this 20-inch motorsport wheel, forged aluminum, lighter, stronger. That's gonna be less rotating mass. And then look at what we got there. Pizza size rotors, almost 16 inches in diameter. Plus, you can put some pepperonis on there because those are carbon ceramic rotors. So those are those rotors developed in Formula One. They're gonna dissipate heat so well. Wait until we go on throttle and then mash that brake pedal like a bunch of mashed potatoes. And this thing's gonna stop on a Euro and give everybody change. We have the nice bright red 6-piston calipers clamping down on those rotors. And I'm telling you, the red just really shows itself so cleanly behind that nice light gold wheel, that forged wheel. We got the Pirelli P0 Corsa tires. And of course we have BMW's X-Drive, that all-wheel drive system. Now, this tire up front is 275 on the width, 35-inch sidewall. And if we're comparing this to the Blackwing, let's talk about that for a second. Obviously, both vehicles have the functionality at the front. On the BMW, you do get the BMW laser headlights. That's even better than your standard LEDs, which you get on the Blackwing. Plus, you're getting that power bulge and functional heat extractors, which, remember, that's something on the Blackwing they took away. There's no functional heat extractors on the hood, but it is carbon fiber. And then you look at the wheels, and of course, on the Blackwing, optional would be the carbon ceramic rotors. When you go CS, you get them thrown in. We got the adaptive dampers, all 4 corners, specifically tuned for track duty. But I guess the biggest thing would be the all-wheel drive. This has all-wheel drive. The Cadillac is only rear-wheel drive. But let's go down the side and see what else we got going on. There's that light gold trim, the M5 CS badge. This is functional on the fenders, so you got that to help relieve the actual pressure. So what happens is, as air comes in underneath the fender, that could create lift. We don't want lift. We want push down. We want downforce. This is a great way to alleviate the air that builds up inside the fender and also channel the air down the side of the vehicle. Now, speaking of the side, one of the things that BMW does so much better than any other brand are their side mirrors. Beautiful carbon fiber, just like a bucket of carbon fiber spilled all over this side mirror. You can see how they add the extra arrow. Of course, they're electric folding. There's that extra arrow to channel the air to kind of just trim everything out. LED lighting, 360-degree cameras. Somebody went really crazy and just dumped more carbon fiber on the roof. So not only a carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber roof, sheds about almost 10 pounds, lowers the center of gravity. We got that color matching door handles. Love the way they just kept the side sill very, very clean. I guess the one thing I would have liked to seen is some carbon fiber extension, some arrow work on the side to kind of make the carbon fiber go all the way around the vehicle. So that's gonna be a zonk. I would like to see some carbon fiber, but one thing that's not a zonk is that up 5, we got 275s. Out back, we got 285s on the width with the carbon ceramic setup. Like I said, all-wheel drive gonna keep you secure. Wait until you hear the 0 to 60. Your jaw's gonna hit the floor and you're gonna fall out of your seat. Now, getting towards the back, you can see the great flow of air coming over the rear glass. And then of course, we got this absolutely stylish but functional trunklet spoiler, carbon fiber with the cutout in the center. Look at the way that air is just gonna go. M5 CS, that light gold badging, the LED lighting coming across the center, that iconic BMW badge. and then working your way down, this diffuser looks like it's off the 1999 BMW winning car at Le Mans. Absolutely stunning, full carbon fiber with the quad tip exhaust. They're staggered, nice round opening, slash cut on both sides. Wait until you hear this freaking V8 roar. But why don't we go ahead, speaking of V8s, let's go pop that carbon fiber hood and see what's powering the CS. All right, guys, come on in. We got the hood open, and like I said, full carbon fiber. Look at this. This is something that when you go to Cars and Coffee, you're gonna wanna pop your hood. They put the M5 CS badging on the interior, nicely engraved in the carbon fiber. There's your functional heat extractors, just to prove it. It's not just for looks, not just all show and no go. You got the go. And then dropping down, that's the go-go juice right there. 4.4 liters of twin turbo V8 goodness. Now looking at that engine cover, I'm liking it. It's got the motorsport badges, it's got the motorsport colors. I love the M-Power signature design. There's just not a lot of room in that engine compartment. There's nothing else that you could put. But what is that? That's a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. You're looking at 627 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque. It's made it a one transmission, and that's gonna be the Zonk. A ZF 8-speed would be wonderful to see this with a manual transmission. You do get the all-wheel drive, the X-Drive all-wheel drive. Comparing that to the Cadillac, the CT5-V Blackwing has that 6.2 liter supercharged V8 that puts out 668 horsepower, 659 pound-feet of torque. But the big winning point for the Cadillac is you could get automatic, a 10-speed, or a manual, a Tremec 6-speed manual transmission. But here we go, 0 to 60. Who's gonna win? The BMW M5 CS is 0 to 60, 2.6 seconds. That's that supercar performance. The Cadillac goes 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds with the automatic. Quarter mile on the BMW, 10.6 seconds. So if Dom Toretto says, I need a 10-second car, let him borrow your M5 CS because it is a 10-second car, and that's at 130 miles an hour. Top speed, 190 miles an hour. If you're comparing this to the Blackwing though, Blackwing is gonna lose in the quarter as well. It's 11 seconds in the quarter mile, but where the Blackwing is gonna come out on top, the Blackwing does over 200 miles an hour. That's a football field every second. But let's talk more about the M5 CS. MPGs, who gives a damn, right? If you care, I could show you a couple Priuses that we have, or Prii, I think that's plural for Prius, if there's more than one. MPGs, 15 in the city, 21 the highway. The car weighs 4,000 pounds. It's 230 pounds lighter than an M5 competition. So something to think about when you're looking at this vehicle. It's not just about more horsepower. All of this carbon fiber goodness actually lowered the weight. 4,000 pounds, which is not bad. That's way less than a Dodge Charger Hellcat Redeye. But why don't we go ahead? I see some goodness underneath the hood. Let's fire up this M-powered M5 CS and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, come on in, because I'm telling you right now, this M5 CS is freaking ridiculous. Now, I know we're talking about comparing it to the Blackwing, but I also want to show you what's different than an M5 or an M5 competition. I mean, we already talked about how this already has 10 extra horsepower over an M5 competition, but wait until I take you on a little tour of this interior, because it is freaking madness. Now, if we're talking about the Blackwing, of course we have to talk about price. Depending on how you option your Blackwing, if you do it as similar to this vehicle as this one is, then you're basically looking at an MSRP a tick over $100,000. So let's just call it $101,000. This vehicle, the way that it's optioned, is $143,000. Let's see what you get for the money and how it stacks up to the Blackwing, to the door panels. Love that sexy German styling. Not only do we have the Harman Kardon sound system, but you're gonna have that light contrast stitching up top. We got carbon fiber on the door panel with some dark chrome accents along the bottom. And then of course, with this being a CS, we got the red stitching all over the place, looking good. The leather is so soft. There's that aluminum speaker grill cover in the center for the Harman Kardon sound system. And you know what? That door pocket, it's gonna be great when you're at Road America, because you'll be able to get some hot dogs and some other German delicacies to shove in that door pocket, plus a big old bottle of root beer to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, it just keeps getting better and better. The stitching, the carbon fiber, definitely the style of the BMW, especially the CS compared to the Cadillac Blackwing. This looks, I would say, in a way, very well put together over the Cadillac, and it's got some really nice finishes without going too over the top. You're gonna get a massive 12.3-inch infotainment system screen. It is that floating iPad style, of course, navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but because this is for the track, I really wanna focus on the car settings. So we could go into driving information. You could pull up your sport displays, the G meter. You could show how much boost those turbos are kicking out. All of that goodness with horsepower and torque for your passenger. I wouldn't stare at this very much when you're turning the hot laps. They're not gonna be very hot. Then you go back, you can look at energy flow. Remember, we do have that all-wheel drive system, and you can send all the power to the rear wheels. I like in the graphics how it even has the gold wheels. Very nicely done. It's letting us know that the engine is running. Thank you, BMW. And then as we keep going back, now we could go into our M menu. M menu, you have on the steering wheel, which I'll show you when we get to the business side of things, the M1 and M2 configuration buttons. This is all for your personal settings. You could adjust your head-up display for that perfect track alignment, and then you could go back home very easily. There's even the M mode button, which is gonna allow you to switch from road to sport to track. That is what they're bringing, and each one has a unique identity. Let me throw it into reverse real quick. Nice clear resolution. You can see that vehicle right there, clear as day, trajectory and everything. But we're not gonna be worried about what's behind us on the track. We're gonna be worried about what's in front of us. And then of course, you just hit back home and you're right back to home again. Working our way down, nice bright red start stop button. I always like the way they have the automatic start stop feature where you can just shut it off very quickly. You got your dual climate controls, radio controls. You can even adjust the blower fan speed separately from your passenger. Only heated seats, and I'll show you why in a few seconds. The stitching, somebody got messy with the carbon fiber. More carbon fiber. Open this up, what do we got? Wireless charging, USB-A in there, and 2 cup holders and a 12 volt. Close that up. This is gonna control that ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. I love the way they shaped it with the M badge. I wish that you could get a manual. That's still gonna be a zonk in my book. Little bit of gloss black. Of course, you got the updated software for the BMW iDrive controller. Center console. To save weight, this is just the top lid. There's nothing inside, so don't try to rip it off like some people do, and then you can't get it back on because there's nothing underneath there. It's just a big open space with wires and stuff. But they did that to save weight. Another thing to save weight and to hold you tight as a race car bug and a nice snug rug. Look at these seats. Competition. That's the Nordschleife. That's the Nürburgring on the headrest. All perforated, carbon fiber backs. This thing is right out of a freaking race car. They even hollow it out for the weight. The Alcantara on the sides. These aren't handles. This is to hold you. And on top of that, they're power adjusted seats. You got carbon fiber on the crotch. Be careful. You don't want a carbon fiber splinter to go in the family jewels. That's gonna hurt. There's your electric seat controls. Of course, we got the M colors on the seat belts. We don't need red seat belts. We got plenty of horsepower. We got the M badging colors, and then Alcantara, as soft as can be, all the way through the headliner and the A pillars. But I'm 6 feet tall, and you can see I'm ready to freaking rock and roll. Get your butt over here though. I want to show you behind this sexy wheel in the M5 CS. All right guys, business time. It's crazy with these aggressive performance seats that they're full electric assist. You got 2 memory seat settings, your M5 CS that lights up beautifully at night with the LED lighting. And then speaking of beautiful, a pedal box meant for a race car, nice large aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. And then there's those seat controls. You can even adjust the side bolstering. Even a Porsche 911 GT3 with the carbon seats doesn't allow that much flexibility. As you can see, like I said, 6 feet tall. I got plenty of room. Steering wheel, they went up and above and beyond. You do have your Alcantara all the way around. Love the dark chrome finish. You got that top dead center red stripe underneath the Alcantara. Remember how I told you about the M buttons, M1 and M2? There's those buttons that you set up your customized settings, you hit it, and everything switches exactly the way you want it. Speaking of custom, we have custom carbon fiber paddles bolted to the steering wheel. This is different than in the M5 competition. Nice and large to hit those gears, electric assist, tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you're gonna get that same great dash with the M5 CS badge up top. This is your normal setting. And then when I switch, you can see how it goes from normal to sport and track. Really, really cool with the tachometer, the way everything changes, and the head-up display, of course, which is about the size of a freaking large watermelon. But you know what? Let's go ahead. This has 4 doors and 4 seats. Let's see what this M5 CS is gonna be like for your passengers as they're crapping themselves while you're on the Nordschleife. Let's go find out. All right, guys, backseat time, and I'm telling you right now, this is the most aggressive bolstering of any rear seat we've ever been in here on Raiti's Rides, and it is freaking mind-blowing. Now, first of all, you are gonna get the extra AC vents in the frame rail, which is great because you're gonna need that extra cooling to keep your passengers nice and chilled out while you are freaking running those fast times. Speaking of fast, look at this fast carbon fiber. Nice and light. Remember, this car weighs over 200 pounds less than an M5 competition. They hollow out the center. There's no pockets, but you know what? This is like staring at the Mona Lisa while you're sitting back here. You do still get your command center. Extra AC vents. You got all your controls. Little Twinkie tray down here. 12 volt, 2 USB-Cs. I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm telling you, I feel phenomenal in here. The bolstering on the seats, if you look at the seats here, the way that they're bolstered, it's like a front seat in the back seat. Now, there is no middle passenger, so that was smart to just get rid of. They just have fine leather. And then this little holder right here in the center, that's for the barf bags. So if you're at Laguna Seca and you're going through the corkscrew with your passengers, the corkscrew, that famous turn within Laguna Seca, is a 3-story drop. When you start at the top and you go down, it's 3 stories. They may need a barf bag, but you know what? Let's get to the trunk so that we can get this part over, because I am dying, craving, needing to go on throttle in this M5 CS. Let's get to it. All right, guys, you know one thing about whether you go Caddy or you go with this BMW, you're definitely gonna get usability, not only on the inside, but also on the back end of things. Opening up the trunk, there's no electric assist, but who cares, because you're greeted to about 15 cubic feet of space. The good news is you do have a 12 volt, so that when you're doing your track day and you have your electric air compressor, you could adjust your tires accordingly with the correct tire pressure to run those fast laps. Plus you could bring all the goodies, a cooler, a pop-up tent, a bunch of stuff in the trunk to make this the one and all perfect track day vehicle. But you know what? We're not at a track today, unfortunately, but I do know some local twisty bits. Let's go ahead and go on throttle in our M5 CS. All right, guys, we're in this 2022 BMW M5 CS. I have it in track mode. We're gonna manually shift with these surfboard style paddles, but if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Yeah! Golly! On the brakes. Nice! Woohoo! The balance, the smooth shifts, and the brakes. Look at this. Oh my God. let's talk about what's going on here for a second. So the shifts go through each gear with authority. It's like a mule kicking you in the back of the head. The large head-up display allows you to have all the pertinent information. And these seats, listen, if you need more bolstering, you need a full-on, bolted to the floorboard, non-adjustable seat if you need more bolstering. But the sounds, the crispness, and the way that the twin-turbo V8 just builds power so smoothly, but with such ferocity, it really is like a polished sledgehammer, whereas the Cadillac is just a full-out sledgehammer, just smashing and bashing. You're like Smash Brothers on the Nintendo NES. With this car, it's a polished sledgehammer. And the way that it produces so much speed, it just melts your frontal lobe. All right, guys, here we go. Transporter style on throttle, yeah! Yeah! God, look at this thing. Woo-hoo-hoo! The steering input, this is the ultimate driving machine. Look at this thing. I can't believe how good the brakes are. There's no doubt about that this thing is faster than a CT5-V Blackwing. All right, guys, how about second gear, slow roll? On throttle, here we go. I love it through this section, love it. Jeez Louise. They've done a master class on this M5 CS. All right, guys, one more time for you. Definitely one more time for me. On throttle, here we go. God. Put you back in that seat. Solid under the brakes. I mean, you're just being catapulted from corner to corner. Car is not supposed to drive like this. Unfreaking believable. But you know what? BMW needs me to give this car back and we need to wrap it up. So let's get back to where it all started and just see what you have to think in that comment section between this and the Blackwing. I'll see you in a BMW M minute. Oh my God. I tell you right now, this has been one of those days where it just brings a big smile to your face, and without your support, we wouldn't be able to be doing this. So it's great to have you with this on throttle in this M5 CS. I definitely want to thank everybody over at BMW for allowing Raiti's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Are you going to go Blackwing? Are you going to go M5 CS? How do you like to have your four-door supercar performance, essentially? Let me know in that comment section, but both of them are very, very unique and really offer something very special that if you want these, they're going bye-bye. So stop your crying that you can't get these. Try to get one because they are going to be gone very, very soon. But until we meet again, if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. We got to give it up to the champ. She knocks him out left and right, just like Mike Tyson. Give Lori some love in that comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.